Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything from hair to fashion to skincare products. We'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, hairstyles, and anti-aging remedies. And we'll cover all of the newest fashion trends. If you have an interest in or questions about the beauty and fashion trends that might work best for you, the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast has got you covered.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 99. Oh my God, there's been 99 episodes of this podcast. I want to say I started at like episode 90 or 91 or something, so we're almost at my 10 podcast anniversary. So let me know what you guys want to hear. Go ahead and shoot us a DM on Instagram or at us on Twitter. The handle for both of those things are going to be GSMC_beauty. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the outfits from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. The finale just happened. There's a lot of looks to go through. Then after that, we're going to play a fun little game called Makeup Would You Rather. I have a bunch of would you rather questions that I've curated specifically for this episode. So we're going to go through those. I think it should be fun. It'd be nice to hang out with everybody and play a little game together. Then I'm going to talk to you about jeans. There's going to be a subject where I talk about jeans for women. And then after the break, at the very end of the show, I will talk to you guys about jeans for men. What I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the type of jeans that will best complement whatever your body shape is. So I'll give you guys examples of body shapes and the types of jeans, and it'll be a fun time. So make sure you guys keep listening because it's going to be a fun one. So let's get started with the Drag Race UK finale looks. Spoiler alerts ahead. We're going to be talking about Drag Race UK Season 2, the winner. I'm probably going to say their name, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. So this list is in no particular order, except for my number one pick. You know how it goes. This isn't anything new. So, starting with the list, we have Miss Bimini Bon Boulash. This outfit that she wore for the finale is a all-white outfit. It's giving me very much like wedding vibes, but like rock star at the same time. The shoes that Bimini is wearing are going to be pretty large platform heels. I have heels that are kind of similar, except hers are open-toed, mine are closed-toed, and they're kind of like boots, right? So mine go up. They're like the pleaser boots, which is every drag queen has a pair of like pleaser heels, right? And then going from the bottom up, she's wearing white stockings that just go up to about mid-thigh. And then it goes into this bodysuit that's lace. Well, not necessarily lace. There's a lace pattern on this all-white bodysuit. And it's embellished with like gold and like silver, right? Very, very wedding. Around her waist, she's wearing like pretty much like a train, like a bunch of fabric that drapes behind you. So you walk and it like trains behind you. And I really like this outfit because it's very rocker. It's very like pop star, rock star, like high energy. All of these looks I got from the Queen's Instagrams. And there may be some differences between what they wore actually on the show versus like when they did the photo shoot. So I'm just going based off of the outfits that they posted from their Instagrams. Bimini's hair and makeup, flawless. Bimini, like, the way that she does her makeup, it's very grunge style. It's this outfit specifically, it's very rocker, right? Kind of rough around the edges, a little grunge, a little bit unpolished. However, we've seen what Bimini can do, and she's great. Next is going to be Miss Tia Coffee. I was very sad when Tia Coffee was eliminated because she is so fun to listen to and she's just such good TV. And she's one of those queens where I feel like they wouldn't necessarily do well on a regular season of Drag Race, but on All Stars, once Miss Tia Coffee gets her coin, then she is going to do phenomenal on All Stars. I really do hope that Tia Coffee is going to be on some sort of All Stars. I know that it's a rumor that there's going to be like an international All Stars where it's going to be queens from US, UK, Canada's Drag Race, and all the other franchises. I don't really know. It's just a rumor, so there's not too much information about it. But this outfit is a really, really good example because she didn't wear anything like this on the show, and she looks very polished in this photo. She's wearing a mermaid gown with like these like ruffles on her sleeves. And the pattern, I don't even know how to explain the pattern. It almost looks like so you know those like hand fans? Like they're a long stick, right? And then you open them up and then it's a fan. It looks like two of those on opposite ends, and in the middle it's connected by something. It's almost like a rattle, right? So it's circular on the two ends and then like narrow in the middle so that you can like hold something. And it's a very interesting pattern. I'm not crazy about the pattern. I don't really understand it, but it matches with the dress, the color combinations, 10 out of 10. And I really like the accent of the ruffles on her arms because it makes her look, it gives her body a little bit more shape and a little bit more dimension because there's more happening up top and then not much going on in the middle, and then down at the bottom with the mermaid gown, it kind of flares out a little bit. So then it's a really good balance and really helps kind of make that hourglass figure a lot more dramatic. Her makeup, this is the best I've ever seen her makeup. Red lipstick, looks like a reddish gold on the eyes, perfect highlight placement, perfect contour placement. And the hair, we have a big, really big curly afro style wig. 10 out of 10. I really do like this outfit. Next is going to be Tace. Tace was in the final four with Bimini, which I didn't mention earlier. And I really don't like this outfit that she's wearing. It's a Nude Illusion suit, I think. If it's supposed to be a Nude Illusion suit, it's not really giving me that illusion, right? And it's rhinestone in like a kind of going up her leg and then like kind of outlining the shape of her body, I guess. And there's like these black, like fluffy, they almost look like wigs that are hanging from like her arms, around her neck. And I don't know, just something about this look. It's not what I would expect for somebody in the final four. And yeah, like we've seen Taste in many different outfits that looked incredible. This is just not one of them. She's wearing a simple black heel, her signature long black straight hair. And I would probably also say this makeup is probably her signature, where it's the dark lip outline with like a nude in the middle and like a gloss over it. Nose highlight, blinding. Taste just has such a pretty face and just such good bone structure on her face that it's 10 out of 10. For the bone structure, not the outfit. This next outfit, however, is going to be a 10 out of 10, and that is going to be from Miss Ahura. And Ahura has been on the top of my list for many of her outfits. And we'll just start from the bottom up because I really do like this outfit. The main color, it's going to be like a silver, kind of bluish hue for silver. And starting at the heels, we have a really pointed white heel that goes up into kind of like this design on her legs that almost looks like a flame, I guess. And so it kind of goes up her leg and then goes into this bodysuit that has more flames that kind of flare out from her hips. And then she has a really over-exaggerated cinched waist. And then right towards the breast area is more flames that kind of go up to outline the shape. And then more rhinestone on the shoulders. And there's a cape, which I don't remember seeing on TV when I was actually watching it. But this one has a cape that's like flying through the air, and I'm obsessed with it. Makeup. The makeup is something that I would expect from Ahura because homegirl can paint. Like, it looks good. There's nothing wrong with it. What I really like is the hair. The hair is, there's like two little curls that go on the side of, like almost by her temples, that kind of curl down and then back up a little bit. And those kind of are the bottom pieces of like a disc type of shape on her head. The shape of the wigs are really hard to explain because they're just so like such crazy shapes. And I really do like this outfit. She looks stunning. She's giving me absolute sex in the face. She's giving me everything that she needs to give. The next one is going to be Miss Veronica Green, who came out in kind of like a superhero inspired outfit. Nude heels, green skirt, white top, green poofs on the sleeves, white gloves, green mask, green bow on her head. It's all right. It's nothing crazy. The photo that she posted on her Instagram, though, is really cool. It's very, like, comic book inspired. I'm not too crazy about this look. I think it's fine. There's nothing extravagant about it. The next outfit is going to be from Miss Cherry Valentine. Now, for Cherry Valentine, I was really gagged when she got eliminated second because she was my top contender. I really thought that she was going to be one of the queens to make it to the top. And this outfit is incredible. It's a gown that's kind of pulling down at the bottom and very exaggerated hips, really big shoulder pads, really, really long nails. I want to say those are probably like 3 or 4 inch nails. Those are insane. It's a sequins gown, and it's the type where it's like you like rub it one way and it's red, and then you go the other way and it's black. You know what I mean? It's that. And there's like a hood. It's great. She's holding a rose. Makeup, incredible. Everything about this is incredible. Estina Mendel, this is not it. And that's all I want to say about that. She got a lot of critiques about the outfits that she was wearing, so I would agree with that. Kind of the same thing, Ellie Diamond. I'm not really surprised by what she's wearing. It's fine. It's cute. Joe Black. First of all, gag that Joe Black went home first because this outfit is incredible. It's a Victorian style gown that's all red. It's all the same shade of red, which I'm obsessed with. And the headpiece that Mr. Joe Black, that's their Instagram name. It's a ship, which I think is very interesting because it's very Victorian style, and I think the ship is a brilliant touch. The final look, I guess the second to final, which is going to be my number one look, is going to be from winner Lawrence Chaney. This outfit, I love it. Again, it's a mermaid gown, and it's Drag Race inspired, meaning like Drag Race like the cars, right? So we have the black and white checkerboard print that kind of goes up the side, a belt in the middle to help with that hourglass kind of shape, and her hair, perfect. I can't tell what color it is. It almost looks purple, which would make sense because the rest of the outfit is purple. Her eye makeup is purple. One thing that I find really interesting about this makeup is that only one eyebrow is purple. The other eyebrow is black, which I think is very interesting because in terms of the eyeshadow that she's wearing, it looks to be the same on both sides. And so then the only difference between the makeup on her face are the different colored eyebrows. But overall, I really do like this outfit. I think that by like part of the accessories that she's wearing are the they're called the RuPeter badges, which is what you win when you win a challenge. So she has one on her chest, so it's like a pin, she's pinned it into her chest, and she's wearing the other two as earrings, which I think is very interesting because I really wouldn't have thought to turn those badges into an accessory like that. Like in the beginning of the episodes when all of the queens like come into the workroom for the first time for that day, most of them are wearing the badges that they won. But we don't really ever see that on the runway. So I thought that was really interesting. I can't see the shoes that Lawrence is wearing because it's a mermaid gown, but I really do like the shape. And I've noticed that Lawrence Chaney has kind of a signature shape. Like she really does understand her body, which is great because it makes it so that all the outfits that she wears, she just looks incredible. 10 out of 10. So even though I said that was the last queen, that was kind of a lie. The last queen that I really do have is Ginny Lemon. And the reason why Ginny Lemon comes at the very end after my favorite is because I couldn't find a photo shoot that they did with their outfit. And so I figured in order to keep it fair, since it's what all of the queens posted, that I wasn't going to go look in the show to see what Ginny Lemon was wearing. I do remember what she was wearing, and it was okay. It was cute. But I don't think it's fair to compare the outfit that Ginny Lemon wore on the show with all of the outfits that the queens did for a photo shoot. Does that make sense? So I've given you my thoughts on all of these looks. I really do like all of these queens. Lawrence Chaney, 10 out of 10 winner. I am so happy Lawrence won. Even from the beginning, like I was such a huge fan. 10 out of 10. So now that we've talked about Drag Race UK Season 2, stay tuned for after the break where we're going to play a little game called Makeup Would You Rather. So make sure you guys stay tuned.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back, everybody. So before the break, we talked about all of the looks from the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. So if you missed that, go back, rewind it. Don't worry, I won't be mad. After we do this makeup Would You Rather, then we're going to talk about jeans. Because I personally have a hard time figuring out what jeans are best for my body type and the shape of my body. So I'm going to be talking about jeans for women, and at the very end of the show, we'll talk about jeans for men, because I think they're very different, because the body shapes for male and women are very different. So let's get into this fun game of Makeup Would You Rather. So I have a bunch of Would You Rather questions that we're going to go through together, and I'll answer them, I'll give you my opinions on them, and it'll just be a fun time. And if you're listening with your friends, play along with your friends, because this is always fun. So the first one is, would you rather your makeup brushes be cleaned magically or your favorite lipstick never gets discontinued? So I'm going to make the assumption that all of my makeup brushes would magically be cleaned right now one time, right? And for my favorite lipstick, I would say my favorite lipstick is probably Praline by e.l.f. It's my perfect nude shade. I don't want anything else other than that. So between these two, I would probably have to say my favorite lipstick never get discontinued, because cleaning my makeup brushes really is not that hard, and it just being done magically once is not, I wouldn't say that that's really beneficial. The next one, would you rather go 1 month without cleaning your beauty blender or go 1 month without cleaning your hairbrush? So this one's kind of complicated because I don't do makeup every day, and if I brush my hair with a brush on my normal hair, like, I have really straight hair, so it's not going to clog up the brush like that. However, if I'm styling wigs a lot for a month, then that's when it would get bad. So let's say I do my makeup every single day and that I am styling wigs every single day. Now we'll answer this question. I personally would rather go 1 month without cleaning out my hairbrush. And let me tell you why. For your beauty blender, if your beauty blender is too dirty and there's too much product on there, then it's going to grow bacteria, it's going to get nasty, and it could grow mold, which has happened to me before. When I first started doing drag, I would do my makeup and I would just like use my beauty blender, whatever, right? And I lost that beauty blender after like maybe a month or two of using it, and I lost it and I could not find where it was. Well, eventually when I was like moving, I found the beauty blender. Oh my God, it was disgusting. It was so gross. It was like, imagine, it almost felt like moldy fruit. Like it didn't have that spongy texture anymore. It was like soft and like squishy, but not like a sponge, more like a rotted fruit. You know what I mean? And if I were to have to use that on my face, I would probably gag and I would probably throw up. So because of that, I'm going to have to go 1 month without cleaning out my hairbrush because the bristles are still going to work and it'll probably still be fine. The next one. Now, when I did this one, I am big brain and I really thought this was a good one. So everybody pay attention. Would you rather wear black lipstick to a job interview or wear blue lipstick to a first date? Now, I'm not talking like navy blue. I'm talking like bright blue, like sky blue, right? On a first date, or black to a job interview. For me, this one's kind of complicated because it depends what the job is. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going for a job like to be a regular performer at a club or something, then I would much rather wear black lipstick. But if I'm going to like a corporate job, like a 9-to-5 type of job where I'm literally not going to be in drag, then there's really no need for me to be wearing makeup like that unless I'm like kind of setting the expectation that I'm going to show up like that every day. You know what I mean? And blue lipstick, listen, it looks good for some people. Personally, it would not look good on me. And I have really tiny, really thin lips, and colored lipsticks like that, they never look right. So I would probably have to say wear black lipstick to a job interview, because then I could just like make an excuse for it and say like, oh, like I got punched in the face and I have a cut on my lip or something. So to hide the cut, I'm just like wearing black lipstick. I don't know. This is a hard one. So the next one is, would you rather run out of foundation or run out of mascara? For me, this is an easy one. I would much rather run out of mascara. I do not want to run out of foundation because the foundation, when I put my foundation on, that's what I like. But putting on foundation is the equivalent to buying a canvas, like for painting, because it's the foundation for my face. It's where all of my makeup is going to sit. And if I don't have that foundation, then my powder contour is going to have a hard time like sticking. Like it's just not, my skin tone's going to be uneven. It's just not going to look cute. So I don't want to do that. I would rather run out of mascara because the lashes that I wear are so big that you really can't even see my natural lashes. So it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Again, this next one is going to be kind of hard for me. I'm just kidding. Would you rather go makeup free for a week or not be able to wipe off your makeup for a week? To me, I think this one's really easy. I think it's an easy choice. I would much rather go makeup free for a week because all that means is that I just don't get in drag for a week. And to be honest, I go weeks, even months at a time without getting in drag sometimes. But to not be able to wipe off my makeup for a week, say I do end up getting in drag and I can't take off my makeup for that entire week, it's going to be disgusting. My skin is going to hate me. It's going to be oily. It's probably not going to stay. It's going to smudge. My pillows are going to get dirty. It's going to be gross. I would much rather go makeup free for like a week. So now this next one. Would you rather have your makeup done professionally every day or be able to get anything you want from Sephora for free? So I'm kind of conflicted on this one because to have my makeup done professionally every day would be great because then that means I don't have to put myself in drag like somebody else would do my makeup. But then that kind of like takes the fun out of doing drag for me because I really do enjoy like the process of like sitting down, doing my makeup, putting on the wig, putting on the outfit. Like I enjoy that process. But to get anything like from Sephora for free, I'm assuming it's like a one-time shopping trip, right? Like you go to Sephora once and you can fill up your cart with anything you want, you get it for free. I personally would rather do that because I can get so many products. I can get so many products for free. Like Sephora has a lot of expensive like name brand products too that I personally cannot afford. But if I'm getting them for free, you best believe I'm going to put them in the shopping cart. I'm not going to even think twice about it. I don't even care if it's the right shade. You know what I mean? Because I can probably gift it to somebody who's that shade. And then boom, you have a good Christmas gift for somebody, a good birthday gift. And if the shade is a good match for you, you have new makeup. It's a win-win for everybody, really. Okay. Would you rather have lipstick on your teeth or mascara running down your cheeks? Personally, I think lipstick on your teeth is gross. I think it makes you look kind of like an amateur when you do your makeup. And it's an easy fix. Like you just take your finger, rub off the lipstick. But let's say that it's like your teeth are stained from the lipstick and there's just a constant bright red smudge on your teeth. I'm personally not a fan of that. I think mascara running down your cheeks is very dramatic. It's very symbolic. And I personally don't mind that. I think if you're walking down the street and you just see somebody that has like mascara streaks running down their face, almost like as if they were crying, like you can't tell me you wouldn't be like, oh my God, like what happened to them, right? I think having mascara running down your cheek is the type of attention that I would want to get from other people, but not lipstick on the teeth. I think that's a big no-no. Okay. Would you rather be able to put lipstick on without a mirror or paint your nails perfectly on the first try? So this one is kind of a tough one because I whenever I do my nails, I'm not the one to do them. My best friend, Renee, hey girl, she does nails. So anytime I do my nails, she's always the one to do them. Whether it's painting them, giving me acrylics, putting on the press-ons, like whatever. Like I always have her do it because she just knows. She's certified. I don't know if that's true. She might be certified. I'm pretty sure she is. But putting lipstick on without a mirror, I think isn't really that big of a flex. Only because I feel like you're not really applying lipstick that frequently to be able to want to do it without a mirror. Like it's a cool party trick, but it's not necessarily a cool like you know what I mean? Like it's not really that applicable. I just don't think it makes any sense. But because I don't do my own nails, I would have to put lipstick on without a mirror. Would you rather have gel manicure for life or eyelash extensions for life? Now, again, since I don't do my own nails, I don't really care about the gel manicure. But to have eyelash extensions for life, I think would also be kind of tricky because then am I still able to wear like falsies if I have lash extensions? I'm not too sure. And so the last thing that I would want is to have drag lashes on all the time. Like if I were to get my lash extensions so thick and so full that it looks like I'm in drag, then if I'm not in drag, it's going to look weird. You know what I mean? So I think because of that, I'm going to have to pick the gel manicures for life, make Renee's life a little bit easier. She doesn't have to constantly do my nails. Next is, would you rather take beauty advice from Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner? Initially, I struggled with this one, and then, like a light bulb, it was very clear to me. I would much rather get beauty advice from Kylie Jenner because she is more my age, and I feel like she probably has a better grasp of, like, different styles of makeup. I feel like Kim Kardashian is really good if you want to ask her, like, how do I get, like, super duper glam? Then I feel like Kim Kardashian could help you. But if you want something that's a little bit more natural, a little more subtle, then I think Kylie could probably help you. So because of that, I would pick Kylie. Kylie, if you're listening, please help me. Would you rather leave the house with no makeup or go to bed without washing your face? So this one's kind of tough because I do both of these frequently. I'm not always in makeup. I don't think I've ever gone outside in, like, boy glam where I just have makeup on, no drag. And a lot of the time I do go to bed without washing my face. But that's really bad, and I really should not do that. So I would probably say leave the house with no makeup, because in an ideal world, I would want to be washing my face before I go to bed. All right. Next is, would you rather use a stippling brush or a fan brush for your eyeshadow? So a fan brush is one that you would use for putting on highlight, right? Because it's, like, not a dense brush at all, and it's just very light touch to the skin, right? So you put on your highlight with it. A stippling brush is one that you use for your foundation, so it's really dense, and it's good for, like, packing on foundation. This one's tough because I don't want to use either of these for my eyeshadow. I think that a fan brush isn't going to give me enough pigment. I think a stippling brush, not only is it too big for my eyes, it's probably going to hurt, because if you're, like, patting it onto your eye, like, it's probably going to hurt. And it's probably going to be really hard to blend out. So I would probably say the fan brush, because then I feel like if you have a really, really, really pigmented eyeshadow, then you could probably do it. But I think you would probably only be able to get, like, a pastel look from that. So I would say a fan brush. Next is, which of these cult lipsticks would you rather wear to an Oscar party, right? So there's 999 by Christian Dior or Bruised Plum by Tom Ford. So the Christian Dior one, it's like a bright red lipstick, and the Bruised Plum by Tom Ford is exactly what you would imagine. It's like a plum, a really deep plum color. I would probably say Bruised Plum, only because I am so scared of red lipstick. You will never see me wearing red lipstick, at least not now. It's too bold. I'm too scared. If it doesn't look nice, then it just looks all crazy, and I'm just not a fan of that. So I would have to say Bruised Plum. I really hope you guys enjoyed playing Makeup Would You Rather with me. I had a lot of fun. I have a whole lot of these. So by all means, if you want to see me do this again, let me know. Like I said, I have a lot of fun doing these. Stay tuned for after the break, where I will talk to women specifically, about jeans. So stay tuned.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I really hope you guys are enjoying the episode so far. Before the break, we talked about the looks from RuPaul's Drag Race UK, specifically the finale. And then we played a fun little game of Makeup Would You Rather. Like I said before, if you guys enjoyed that, let me know, because I have a lot of fun doing that, and I have a lot more of those. Now what I want to talk to you guys about is jeans. Something that I'm not too fond of. I hardly wear jeans. I'm not wearing them now. I don't think I've worn jeans since I was working like a typical office job. But nonetheless, jeans are very important because a lot of people wear them to work because they're acceptable in terms of what society thinks is acceptable, which I'm not too big of a fan of. Regardless, let's get into it. What I want to talk to you guys about are the different body types. And when I say body types, I mean shapes. So the different body shapes and the type of jeans that would best suit that type of body shape. So there's the inverted triangle, which essentially means that you have kind of wide shoulders and your hips are not necessarily super duper wide in terms of outwards, if that makes any sense. So that your body kind of looks like an inverted triangle, right? The next body shape is going to be the rectangle, which is where your shoulders and your hips are the same. They line up perfectly, and you have a very symmetrical shaped body. Next is going to be the square, which these are just the body shape names that are the most common. And I really am not a fan of some of these names, like the rectangle, the square, because while it may be an accurate explanation for that body shape, I feel like there's a lot of negativity surrounding body shapes that are anything other than hourglass. And I have no time for that. Normally I have time for a lot of things. This I do not have time for. I think all body shapes are beautiful. If your body is shaped like a square, that's fine. You're still stunning and you're still gorgeous, because I'm going to tell you the best type of pants for you to wear. So the square is going to be pretty much like it's going to be the same as the rectangle, except they're just going to be further out. However, they're still going to be relatively aligned, right? Next is called the apple, which is more of a rounded shape where your shoulders kind of slant downwards a little bit and your hips almost go up. Does that make sense? So that the shape of your body is kind of creating that oval shape. Next is going to be the regular triangle, which is where your shoulders are a little bit more in and not necessarily protruding outwards, but you have kind of wide hips. So kind of giving you that narrow top, a little bit wider bottom, right? Next is going to be the neat hourglass, which is your shoulders and your hips, again, are aligned similar to the rectangle. However, you have your waist kind of more in, right? So a little bit more cinched so that it's giving you that kind of typical hourglass figure that many people talk about. And the final one is going to be called the full hourglass, which is just like the neat hourglass, just a little bit more rounded so that your shoulders are a little bit more out, your hips are a little bit more out, and your waist is still, again, giving you that hourglass kind of shape. So for the full hourglass body type, I would recommend skinny jeans, because what the skinny jeans will do is make your legs look relatively thin and relatively compact, and it will really accentuate the kind of curve that you have in your waist, just so that way your body is looking a little bit more dramatic, right? Does that make sense? For the neat hourglass, however, I would recommend maybe something that's a little bit more loose fitting, something that's a little bit more maybe shorter at the bottom, so maybe capris or something. And this is so that, again, it'll help kind of accentuate that hourglass figure that you have, and it'll, as a result, make your waist seem even smaller. That's the same for the full hourglass as well. By wearing skinny jeans, like, it'll really, what's the word that I'm looking for? Really make your waist look more dramatic and more cinched in than it really is, right? For the regular triangle, I would recommend bell bottoms. Now, typically, I am not a fan of bell bottom pants. And the reason for this is because they're just so old school, and I think they're really hard to do them right. I think a lot of the time people will wear bell-bottom jeans with something that, like, you should not be wearing bell-bottom jeans with. You know what I mean? But with the with the regular triangle-shaped body, what bell-bottoms will do is almost elongate your body. So because the bottom part of your body, meaning your feet, are kind of flared out because of the bell-bottom shape of the jeans, it'll in turn bring your hips, give the appearance that your hips are kind of pulled in a little bit. And this will kind of give you more of the rectangle shape. However, if you're wearing a top and you can put a belt even in the middle or something, kind of where the hourglass cinched part would come in to kind of fake that, what that looks like. And this will in turn give you that hourglass figure, and it'll allow your body to just be a little bit more proportionate, since the top, since your shoulders would match your hips, and then the bottoms are kind of flared out. Does that make sense? For the circle, the circular body type, I would again recommend skinny jeans, because when you have kind of a more round body, you can kind of really look too top heavy. Does that make sense? So by wearing skinny jeans, it, in my personal opinion, it would really allow you to kind of play with the shape of your body a little bit more. So then you can wear, like, what I'm a big fan of for my body type personally, I would say I really do like skinny jeans with, like, an oversized hoodie or something, right? Just to really play with the shape of my body and kind of trick the eye a little bit so that I look really top heavy, but that my legs don't. But then it's really obvious that I'm wearing, like, an oversized hoodie, so then nobody can really tell the shape of my body. So then it's like keeping people guessing. You know what I mean? And I think that to be able to, like, change the shape of your body, it's one of the reasons why I do drag, right? It's the reason why I have a corset that I wear super duper tight. It's the same reason why I have hip pads, and why sometimes, like, I'll contour, like, my shoulders a little bit so that they don't really look as, like, muscular, I guess. My shoulders are really not that muscular. And I think it's a really good skill to have, to be able to kind of toy with the shape of your body, because then you can really wear whatever you want. But at the same time, just because I know how to, like, put on a corset and wear hip pads, that doesn't mean that in my, like, everyday life, every single day I'm going to wear those things, because, like, that's just unrealistic, right? For the square body shape, I would recommend capris again, but something that's a little bit more skin tight. Not necessarily skin tight, but something that's a little bit more, like, fitted. This will give, again, the illusion that you're a little bit shorter, right? Since your pants are, like, cut off at the bottom. Does that make sense for capris? And again, it'll really help you toy with the shape of your body and kind of give the illusion that your body is one shape when it's really another. Does that make sense? For the rectangle, I would recommend maybe a straight jean, maybe something that's a little bit more relaxed, something that kind of just makes you look a little bit more uniform all the way across. I find that with a rectangular shaped body, it's a little bit harder to toy with the shape of your body, only because your shoulders and your hips are aligned. And unless you want to wear like a waist cincher or a corset, which I do not recommend you wear a corset for a long period of time. And unless you want to do those things, then it's kind of tricky to play with the shape of your body. But again, just because it's challenging does not mean that it cannot be done. Like I said before, a really good way to kind of trick the eye into thinking that you have more of that hourglass figure is to put a belt or like a waist cincher or something like on the outside of your whatever top you're wearing, just so that way you can kind of like, if it's a belt, you can kind of like pull it in a little bit, make it a little bit tight so that it kind of gives you that tiny, tiny little to bring your waist in a little bit, right? And for the, like, if you are to do that, then you do have to be really careful to make sure that you're not like restricting any airflow or causing any like harm to your body. Because one thing that like, the only thing that I can really speak on is like wearing a corset for a long period of time, because I've done it and it's not very fun. Because when I wear a corset that's too tight for too long, I'm having to breathe different. I'm walking different. My body, I'm in physical pain, right? And I think that sometimes I just get too carried away with the shape of my body. And I really do. I'm just like, I have to do it for the Instagram photo. I just have to do it so that I look nice for these photos or like for this TikTok or whatever, right? So I think for all of these things, moderation is key. If you want that hourglass shape, be careful with how you do it. The next is going to be the inverted triangle. For these, I would recommend relaxed jeans. Nothing too fitting, absolutely not bell-bottom jeans. Capris, I would probably say no. And the reason for this is because with the inverted triangle, like I said, you're going to have wide shoulders and your hips are not going to be as wide. So by wearing a relaxed fit jean, then it'll really allow the shape of your body to kind of look a little bit more even, right? Because it'll give the illusion that your hips are a little bit further out. And then in turn, you can kind of play with the shape of your body again with an accessory or something like around your waist, right? So those are the jeans and the body types for women, right? And I want to take a second to talk about I don't even know what to categorize what I'm going to talk about as. I just want to say, wear what you want, right? I feel like people are constantly telling people what to wear and like what to do. Like, I just think the whole world would be a much better place if people just wore whatever they wanted, like regardless of like how it looked or if it matches, like whatever, right? Like today, for example, I'm literally wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, and like it's a fine outfit. Like it's not anything crazy, but at the same time, nobody told me to put it on. It's not something that like, it's something, you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? I feel like I'm kind of talking in a circle. Wear what you want, because in this day and age, the last thing anybody wants to do is like fit in, right? Because you fit in with the general population, with everybody else, and it's just boring. I saw a TikTok today that said pretty much this. It said, wear what you want, because you could die today. So dress as, like, wear what you want to wear, because what if you die? Then you're never going to be able to wear the things that you want to wear. And it's a little bit morbid, and it's kind of a sad mindset. But at the same time, I think that for women specifically too many times are people like, and I'm no exception because I just did this. Too many times somebody would just be like, hey, you should wear this because like you'll look better, right? And that's not necessarily what I'm trying to do here. I think the ultimate goal for everybody is to feel beautiful and to feel confident. And for some people, the best way to be able to do that is to kind of follow those trends or like what society is saying that they should wear, right? And I think as a starting point, that's a good place to start because it'll kind of get you more comfortable in your skin. But then you also do have to be careful because the last thing you want to do is just become like a sheep where all you're doing is like falling into like the rest of society and like blending in with everybody. I think it was James Charles who said it. Don't like blend your eyeshadow, but like don't blend in or something. I can't remember what he said, but like that's pretty much like what I'm trying to get to, right? While I am telling you what pants or what jeans look best for your body type, this is not the end all be all. Wear what you want. Stay tuned for after the break, where I will talk to you guys about men's jeans. And I have a lot to say, as I typically do when it comes to male beauty. So stay tuned, everybody.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much again for listening to episode 99 of the GSMC Beauty Tips podcast. So, before the break, I talked about jeans for women, and I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent at the end, but I still stand by what I said, right? And now I kind of want to talk to you guys about jeans for men. And I had an entire episode dedicated to beauty for men. And one thing that I didn't really get to cover was fashion for men. And I kind of touched on it a little bit here and there, like throughout the episodes. But I personally find it really hard to do research on men's fashion, specifically for like straight men, right? I think there's not enough resources out there for straight heterosexual men who want to look good and who want to feel their best and feel confident, right? And I think it's obviously an issue because I said this before. Everybody deserves to feel beautiful, to feel confident, to feel sexy, to just feel on top of the world, right? And I just don't see those options for straight men. I try to think of like a really good brand of men's clothing that focuses on looking good, being confident, but also being affordable and looking good and like things like that, right? And I can't really find anything. I know James Charles just did a YouTube video where he tested makeup that was specifically tailored for men. Right? So there was like this war paint foundation. And from what I gathered from that video is there's not many options for any male who wants to wear makeup. And who wants to wear makeup in a way that's not crazy glam, that's not, you know what I mean? And I think it's an issue that needs to be solved, and it should be done relatively quickly. I think a lot of the time, just for men in general, beauty is often overlooked because it's seen as feminine or it's seen as gay or whatever, right? And I think that's dumb. I really don't understand that. Like, call me ignorant, call me closed-minded, but I just don't understand that. I think it's stupid because I can't even explain it because I really do not understand it. But regardless, I want to talk to you guys about jeans and the best type of jeans to wear for men's body types. And just initially, like, doing research on, like, body types for men, it wasn't necessarily like shapes. Like, remember for women, it was inverted triangle, rectangle, square, circle, right? For men, it's more so thin, fit, muscular, chubby, like stuff like that, which I think is very interesting that they're like that what dictates the type of shape a man's body has, or like the descriptive word for a man's body is based on like how much muscle they have and like how much they weigh. Because like typically we've seen that women are kind of judged like that on how thin their body is and like how proportional or whatever, right? So I found it interesting that when it came to researching clothing for men, that we kind of saw these like misogynistic kind of descriptors for these things. And I think this, again, is just playing to the idea that like wanting to look good and wanting to feel confident and feel confident, but also feel like worthy and like gorgeous and beautiful and stunning, right? Kind of are made to seem like a little bit more feminine, right? Because for these words like thin, muscular, like body weight descriptive words were typically used for women, and now they're being used for men. So I think that kind of just perpetuates that idea. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. I'm sure at the end I'm probably going to rant again. So the different body types that I was kind of able to find, again, I don't agree with these descriptive terms. We have thin, which is the more rectangular shaped body type. We have muscular, which is going to be kind of like a Dorito shaped body where you have wide shoulders, kind of a more narrow hips so that your body is kind of giving the illusion of more of an inverted triangle, right? There's the oval, which is if you're a little bit more on the rounder side, a little bit more chunky, a little bit more curvy like myself. And this is where you're just a bigger guy, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Then there's also going to be the fit body type, which I think is a stupid word. And it's the, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, your shoulders go out further than your hips, but your hips still go out kind of far. Does that make sense? So it's not necessarily a rectangle, but it's still, yeah, I don't understand. This entire category was triggering for me because I just thought it was dumb. Not the category itself is dumb, like what I'm talking about, but in terms of like the way that these topics are kind of talked about and explained and organized, that's what I think is dumb. And then the next body type is going to be for wide hips, which is kind of self-explanatory. Your shoulders are kind of in, but your hips are a little bit more wide, right? Now, obviously, these are not the only body types somebody could have, because if I were to like categorize myself, I would say I'm a combination of the wide hips, which is a triangle. I feel like I have really wide hips, but also the circular because I'm a bigger guy, right? And yeah, this list is not inclusive to everybody, which I think is stupid. And it can either be my research skills, which I will admit could probably use some work at some points. But I don't know. This is, like I said, a very triggering topic because I get very angry when it comes to things like this. But regardless, let's get into it. So there's also 5 main types of jeans for guys that I'm going to be talking about. There's skinny jeans, slim, regular, relaxed, and loose. Now, for skinny jeans, everybody knows what skinny jeans look like. They're form-fitting, tight type of jeans, right? For slim, it's going to be kind of the same style as skinny jeans, except for the leg part of it, it's not going to be as tight. So they're going to be a little bit more loose so that there's a little bit more like room for you to move. Regular is going to be like your straight cut jeans where they're just typical jeans that you put on. They're not too tight, they're not too loose, and they're kind of, sometimes they can be a little bit too baggy if you don't really get the right size. There's relaxed, which is where they kind of look a little bit more droopy and there's a little bit more jean. You know what I'm saying? And then loose is going to be like baggy. Like my dad probably wears like loose jeans. You know what I mean? No shade to him though. So based on the research that I did, from what I found, is that no man should wear skinny jeans, which is ridiculous. I think that's stupid because, again, wear what you want. And I think skinny jeans are a great way. Like for me, when I was younger, I would wear skinny jeans mostly because, again, I was kind of into playing with the shape of my body and like the proportions of my body. And I think that to say that no man with any body type should wear skinny jeans is dumb, right? So I would say when it comes to skinny jeans, any body shape can wear skinny jeans. That goes for men and for women. I think that just it's for me personally, it's more appealing to the eye to see skinny jeans and an oversized shirt or skinny jeans and a form-fitting shirt, regardless of the body type. I think just that combination of clothing just looks really nice. It looks really sophisticated. It doesn't look like you tried too hard, which I'm very much into. So starting with the thin body type. Slim jeans are going to be good for this type of body type because they're just, your body type is rectangular. You don't have too many curves, and straight jeans, slim and probably regular, I would say, would be ideal because you're not really adding any shape to your body. You're kind of just wearing clothes and that's it. And a lot of guys, which nothing against them, they don't want to look like they put too much effort into what they're wearing, right? Which that's totally fine. I would probably stay away from loose jeans only because I feel like if you have more of a thin body type, then loose jeans are kind of just going to make you look a little bit more bulky unless you're wearing like parachute pants or something or like joggers or something. But we're here to talk about jeans. For the fit body type, which is the wider shoulders and still kind of wide hips, but not as wide as your shoulders, slim jeans are going to be good again because it kind of just looks like you just toss something on, like somebody's like, oh my God, I really like what you're wearing. And you're like, oh, like this old thing type of vibe, right? Again, you would also get that kind of reaction when it comes to regular jeans because regular jeans are just your standard cut, standard fit jeans. Personally, I don't think I own a pair of those because I'm a big fan of like skinny and slim jeans only because, I don't know, I really like the way that like my legs feel when I'm in skinny jeans. It just makes me feel skinny. There, is that what you wanted me to say? I like to feel skinny. For the fit body type, relaxed jeans would also be good because it kind of gives you that more like laid back, kind of like cool, doesn't really care kind of vibe, right? For the inverted triangle, which is where your shoulders are wider than your hips, regular, again, is going to be good. I wouldn't recommend slim because if you already have kind of a tinier, like if your hips aren't as wide, then slim jeans are kind of just going to go like straight down. So then it's going to kind of make you look like an elongated triangle. You feel me? For regular jeans, it would really help kind of give you more of that rectangular shape because it's even all around. And say your hips are further in, then just wearing like a regular or relaxed jean would kind of even you out on the sides a little bit. For the regular triangle, which is also known as wide hips, loose-fitting jeans would be good because if your hips are kind of wide, then by wearing really, really loose jeans, it'll allow your hips to almost look kind of like they're brought in more since your pants are exaggerated and like droopy. You know what I mean? And the same kind of effect goes for relaxed jeans, and you're kind of pushing it at regular jeans. you can probably find like a hybrid of like regular jeans and like relaxed jeans where it's a good combination of form-fitting but still a little bit loose and a little bit more baggy. So then again, you can kind of get that more rectangular body shape. Next is going to be the circular body type. And for this type of body type, it can be kind of hard to know what to wear because like for all of the other shapes, you have like a lot of definition either in the shoulders or in the hips or like in your waist or something. But for a circular body type, you don't really have those kind of indicators for you to know that that's kind of what your body looks like. Because like what's the difference between a triangle and a circle? One of them has lines. Circle doesn't really have any lines, right? And it can make it really hard for when you're trying on jeans as well, because unless you're wearing like a shirt that you constantly wear and that you know like how it fits you and you know how you look in it, then you don't really know like if whatever pants you get, if they're going to look good or not. So I would probably lean more towards a regular jean, something, because again, the regular jean is like standard. It's like the textbook, right? Because you can never go wrong with a regular fit jean regardless of your body type, because it doesn't add anything to your body. It doesn't take away anything from your body. It's very much just you put jeans on and it is what it is, right? If you want to kind of minimize the appearance of a circular body, then I would recommend relaxed or like loose fitting jeans. Because if you have a circular body, you're most likely going to be a little bit chubbier, a little bit more chunky, which is fun. I love me a chunky guy, right? And the relaxed and loose fitting jeans will let you kind of drag out that circle into more of an oval. But then like from there, you can kind of toy with like the shirt that you're wearing and like the shoes that you're wearing to kind of help give you, again, that rectangular body shape. So that was all the research that I did when it comes to men and jeans and body type. And I want to say this one last time before I end the show. Wear what you want. Because who knows? This could be your last day. And you would want to go out wearing whatever the hell you wanted, right? Thank you guys so much for listening to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. If you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review and say something nice in your review. Say something nice about me or give me feedback. I'm all ears for feedback. If you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave us a comment, say something nice. Again, I'm open to feedback. Just don't be mean, because I'm really sensitive and I'm probably going to cry if you say anything mean. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, both at GSMC_BUD. I will see you guys next time for episode 100.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network, from health and wellness to entertainment and life and happiness to sex and relationships. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast.